Yeah. All right. So yeah, as I was saying, it's been yeah, six. I forgot when we graduated. I forgot what
Bro,
year.
we graduated 2014, so that's like 6 years.
Yeah.
6
So
years ago.
basically, as I was saying, we were
Yeah.
gonna bring you on. Actually, I saw you on Instagram. Like I think it was like 2 months ago. Was it a month ago from now? And I was like, and I saw that you made like a bunch of progress, right? When did you start like running, like actually like changing like your whole body composition?
So I started running when I got back from India. So I'd gone there for vacation in the beginning of the year, and I came back in March, and then the whole pandemic hit, and like all my offices were like shut down. So I was pretty much working from home, and so at that point, I literally had no excuse to not do it. So like I told myself like, all right, every day for the next 100 days, because before that I was doing like push-ups, 100 push-ups a day, and I had reached day 50 on my push-ups challenge, and after day 50 I was like, all right, I think I can amp it up a little bit more, so why don't I do something else that will add to like my workout. And then I thought of like the next thing that I really hated, which was running or jogging. And so then I challenged myself to do that for like the next 100 days, and that's how I started it off.
Yeah. How much weight did you lose since Corona started? All this.
Since Corona started, so that's pretty much when I started the running, which I was 168, and now I'm 136, like hovering. I've maintained my weight for like the last like half a month or so, and I've just been like trying to like lose body fat and gain muscle at the same time. So 168 to 138, so roughly 30 pounds.
Wow,
That's pretty good.
You know, I thought when all of this started that I was like, I got paranoid because I thought that everybody was gonna like get like stranded at home and everybody was gonna like lose weight except for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta really like make progress because everybody else is gonna like, now that everybody's like has to stay home and they're just gonna work out and they're gonna go like full prison. They're gonna get like prison ripped and everything. But as it turns out,
Yeah.
most people I know actually got like they gained weight actually.
Gained a lot of weight.
Like my
Oh
expectation
yeah.
completely, like I know a few people that have like gained like 30 pounds. They would sit at home and eat every day. And then I one day I saw your Instagram. I was like, okay. I was like, before that, I was like, who is actually making progress during this whole thing? Because I was like, we only have one friend. Our friend Nick is the only guy. You remember Nick Vernice, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight too, which is all started. So he's like the only one that actually lost weight.
And then we saw you, so that we were like, yeah. So honestly, seeing all of your Instagram posts and stuff, and seeing that really motivated us to continue, because we were doing pretty much the same thing. Where once Corona started, we started running every day, and we were recording us like running on our Facebook group and our Instagram and stuff. And so once we saw that, we were like, yeah, we got to keep going. We got to make sure we stay on top, because just seeing you do it, like, make sure that keeps us motivated to keep others motivated.
Yeah. When I first saw your Instagram thing, I was like, yo, Mike, get the camera right now. We're going to record a video on motivation right now. I just got like super pumped because I saw your before and after.
I saw your Facebook thing where you tagged me. Yeah.
I was cool. I was like, yo, I got to see something right now because I want like, Mike, we're going to make a video right now. I don't care what anyone says. So I just got it on the camera. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get a 6-pack. I don't care. I got motivated, and you should. And I don't know. I just lost one. I was like, I got like extreme discipline. Because I saw your before picture where you were like, it was your before picture, and then it was like your after picture where you kind of like that, and you could see the more definition.
Yeah.
The arms and everything. I was like, yo, this guy right here. I was like, yo, Mike. I was like, Mike, message him right now. We need to get him on. Thing.
Yeah.
What we did was I didn't want to, basically our origin story for running was I didn't want to be alone right during Corona, because I was like, oh, my friends are gonna like stay home and everybody's gonna be quarantined and all the boys are gonna be like separated. So I was like, Mike, we need to do something. So I was like, Mike, come to my house every morning, let's just start running. So like the fourth day, I think, or something, we were running.
Yeah, well, it was more of like, because what we would do is we would run, and some days we'd run and some days we'd work out. And that was when we figured out that actually your parents were like, don't do that.
Yeah, my parents
for
were
us.
like, I don't want anyone to work out in the garage.
And so we were running as many times as we could throughout the week, but then we would do Instagram lives. And on one of the Instagram lives, he said that we were going to run every single day, rain or shine, regardless of the weather.
Yeah, I just said it out of
And we
nowhere.
would
Mike was
record
like,
it,
"What?"
and we would record it. And I just looked at him like, "Oh, okay, you're just throwing me in it."
Yeah, because
But
sometimes
here,
I just say stuff like I like heated in the moment. I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this right now," and
He's
so I look
committed,
at
you
the camera and I
guys.
say it. Yeah, and I was like, "Mike, we're gonna do," and Mike was like, what?"
I was
So
like,
ever since then,
"Whatever."
we just did it.
Yeah,
you
so we've
know?
just been running, and it's honestly for me, I love it all the time.
I
just
hate
love,
it.
Yeah, he
I
hates
hate it. I don't like it at all. But I have
I fucking hate it too, dude.
no, this,
I'm
like
not
that's
gonna
what I'm
lie.
saying.
I don't
I hate it.
like the beginning, but once I get through it, once I'm in the middle of it, like it's fine. But like it's just
Yeah.
the beginning, for me
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, I just like but like, was there like a moment for you where you were just like, "That's it, I'm making changes right now"? Was there like that trigger, or was it just like it was like a thing of events throughout a long period of time that was just like, "All right, I'm done being this guy. I want to make."
Yeah, it was kind of a mix. It's kind of a mix of both. Um, so this transformation for me, it didn't really like it kind of just clicked in January. Jeez, dude, chill. It kind of clicked in January, but like I've been starting, like it really started in 2018 when I got off the scale one day and I was 197 pounds, and I was like 3 pounds shy of like 200, which like freaked me out. Like I was like, all right, you need to change. And so since 2018, the beginning of 2018, um, like that's when I really like started eating more healthier, started paying more attention to like what I was doing, how much activity I was getting, what I was putting in my system and stuff like that. And even then, like between 2018 and 2019, I only dropped like a net like 10 pounds. And then between 2019 and 2020, I dropped like another 10 pounds. So in the beginning of the year, I was at 176. And then I was in Cali with, you guys remember Prav?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing
I missed
good.
that,
So
man.
yeah. So me and him were in Cali, and I made a pact to him at that point. And like we're really close. So he knows like he knows like when things are bothering me and like what's been bothering me, and like I just told him like, this is the year, dude. I'm gonna do it, whatever it takes. I'm gonna get to 150, and I'm gonna like change myself and just do it, because it's you're that much weight, right? And that makes you feel like super insecure about yourself. It's not for everyone, right? But for me, I've lived the last 24 years of my life. Still to this day, I'm like super insecure about who I am, and like just myself and my like appearance, and it makes that makes it really hard for me to like communicate with people and socialize with people.
Yeah.
And so like, and it makes getting to know people, like getting to know girls, approaching girls, talking to them, and all that stuff. Like I never had a girlfriend before, just like because of all my insecurities. And so this was the year that I was like, all right, I can't let this keep going, because then I'm gonna fucking end up being miserable.
Yeah. So what'd you do? Like, what kind of like, I know like you probably made some, I mean, I could tell that you've definitely made some changes this year, right? And you probably, I think that you're starting to get like, you're changing the way you think about yourself, right? You're making yourself,
Oh yeah. 100%. It's not this like the last like few months have been more transformational in terms of like my
your
mentality.
mindset, right? Yeah.
Yeah, my mindset, much more than what's on the outside. All this shit is superficial. This isn't what really matters. This right here, this is what matters more.
Exactly.
You know.
Your mind is like,
And
what making you do it,
exactly. And like the click moment for me when like it happened in Cali was what drove me forward every single day after that was we were watching like a movie, because like I got sick through somewhere in the middle of the sick, like in the middle of the trip I got sick. So like we were just chilling in one night and just watching a movie, and then like throughout the entire movie, like I was just thinking like, all right, I made this, New Year's resolution to like get down to 150, but like how many times have I failed before that, right? Like, how many times have I like said something that I was going to do it and I just ended up not doing it? And then I started thinking about like how the last 24 years of my life have just been failure after failure after failure. Like, I was an experienced failure at that point in my life, right? Like in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And then I thought like, wait, hold up. Like, you're not an experienced failure. You've just experienced failure. So that little like twist of words that changed my perspective on everything. And I went from like thinking I was just a failure of a person and just like I couldn't get anything right. I couldn't like talk to people. I couldn't like keep up with my goals. I would always compete with my friends over like the stupidest things. Like, dude, like all my friends have either like been in relationships or like they've like slept with someone else or like they've hooked up with someone. Like, I'm the last of my friend circle that has yet to do it. Like, I've just not, because of all the insecurities I've had in my past, right? And so like that naturally it's going to take it's going to affect you. Like, it affects most people, if not all of them, I think. And so like it was just a negative spiral down. And so all that like that kept going on while this movie was playing. And then like it just hit me like, you're not an experienced failure. You've just experienced failure. And that's it. And then that was all that it took. And then the next day I was like, all right, I'm going to start doing things that I don't like doing. And push-ups was one of them. I couldn't, like, I fucking hated push-ups. And like the next day Prav like taught me like what proper form was for the push-ups. He guided me through it. We did like, we started our workouts like together, and we continued it after we both went back to our homes. And I went to India shortly after. I sprained my ankle, so for a brief period of time I wasn't able to work out. But like when I was like nursing myself back to like full health, I kept doing the push-ups, like knee push-ups, like, you know, incline push-ups and stuff like that, just to like keep going. And then like one day I noticed like I was on a streak. I'd gone like a whole week doing 100 push-ups, right? And then I was like, oh shit, damn, I've actually done 700 push-ups, 800 push-ups, 900 push-ups, and I kept going. And then like ultimately I started noticing like my triceps and my chest were getting, like, my chest was a lot stronger. It had more definition to it and more tone to it. My triceps had gotten bigger, and that like gave me even more confidence to like start doing other shit, right? And like then outside of working out, so like I started doing things that like just would, like, I would never do before, in terms of like talking with people or like talking to girls and shit like that. So like little by little, every single day, I took every single day like step by step, and really just tried to you know, do things that I didn't like.
So you've been trying to basically improve every aspect and not just like, you know, the fat loss and the muscle. Because, you know, when you sprain your ankle, you could have easily just given up, right? I mean, you could have just stopped forever and say, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. I just have bad luck. I'm just going to fail forever. There's no point. But instead of doing that, you went ahead and you focused on not what you could not do, right? But you focused on what you could do. And you ended up doing any push-up that you could. And in the end, you benefited. Whereas most people, they'll give up. Right. They'll start small, and then something will get in their way, like an obstacle, and then they'll trip and they'll fall. Right. And then they'll stay down. They just will think, you know what, I can't do it. Never mind. I'll go back to watching stupid Netflix shows and continue eating my Doritos because that makes me feel like that makes me feel good. But in reality,
safety.
It doesn't.
Defense mechanism. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're playing in fantasy land and you're not in reality. So the fact that you did that's already a change in your mindset right there. And you mentioned that you have Parav with you. You have your friend, right? A guy who's on the journey with you, and that's a great motivator because Mike shows up to my house every morning to run, and I'm just like, I don't want to get out of the house, but he'll be right there. So there's no choice. I can't just let him sit in front of my house.
There are days when we run at 5:30 in the morning, and I show up to his house at 5:20. I'm like, get outside.
Yeah,
and
I'm
he's
just like,
like,
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I was like, you need to get outside right now.
Yeah.
And it hurts every time. but
You
it's
need
like
that. You guys
it's
are
like-
lucky that you have that, because Parav is in Florida, so he's not here.
Yeah.
I literally had to like find that grip and find that motivation myself, and do it like all internally too. And
Yeah. All
like,
discipline.
yeah, and that's honestly that's the hardest part in all this thing, right?
Yeah.
You need to like mentor yourself and guide yourself into forming that mentality first. And that's what a lot of people, I think, like struggle with, because they see all these like posts on like Instagram and like Snapchat and YouTube and whatever, right? And like people going like making these crazy like videos and vlogs about how they transform their bodies, like a 30-day challenge or 60-day challenge or like 6-month like progression or whatever, right? Like, and like you have to give those people who make those videos like props, because it's not easy. But a lot of those people have like experience with bodybuilding or like doing like all these transformation videos, right? And some don't, but like some do. And when people see these videos, then naturally like the first instinct that pops up in the mind is like, all right, it took this guy 30 days to do it, right? So I'm like a similar build, similar height, like I'm a similar race like with this guy. Like I follow like a lot of Indian fitness bloggers, and like our diet is kind of like the same, because we eat like similar foods and stuff. So I thought to myself, like, all right, I'm like this guy, like he eats the same foods as me. Like if he was able to do it, then I'm able to do it in 30 days. And then like 30 days later, I haven't made the same amount of progress as him. And then you kind of, you're like, well, what the fuck? It demotivates you.
yeah,
And that's why people give up. But
yeah, but
you shouldn't compete with anyone. You should just
exactly.
compete with yourself.
Like when you see these 30-day like improvement things, right? And you see like these montages of how people lost weight, in your mind you just see the results. But what you don't really think about, what a lot of people don't think about too much, is the effort that went into that transformation. It's really it's not easy, because if it was easy, everybody would be in shape. If it was easy, McDonald's would go out of business. Starbucks would not be selling sugary vanilla bullshit drinks anymore. They'd be selling just black coffee, right? They like these companies would not be as successful if most people were willing to do the work, right? So if people were willing to eat healthy foods and actually exercise more and actually take that chance, instead of saying, "Oh, I can't do it because I'm this height," or I can't get girls because of who I am, and they're not gonna like me. I'm just gonna get rejected. There's no point. Like they give up before they try. They have a victim mentality, right? They think that they're a victim. And what most people fail to realize is that you create your own destiny. It's like and I don't know if you ever seen Bruce Almighty movie.
I might have when I was a kid. I kind of forgot it.
Basically, there's a scene in which Morgan Freeman basically plays God, and he tells the main character, people always pray to me, because he's playing as God. He's like, people are praying to me for a miracle, but what they don't realize is that they are the miracle. They can make it happen. So it's kind of like the same thing. People don't realize that they have the power to make changes. It's all in the mind. If you think that you can't lose weight, or if you think that you're a victim, and you are a victim of yourself. So that's what holds people like us back from people like others, is that we have that will that says, I'm not a victim. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna make this change no matter what, because I'm sick of feeling like a loser. And in order to feel like a winner, you need to take that step, right? And you took that step. You took that step, and it's all progression. There is no end goal.
There is no end. There's absolutely no end.
There's no perfect like physique unless you're like Arnold Schwarzenegger from like 1979, but that's usually most normal people. But like, the journey is not over. It never ends until you die, and we all die, so we might as well make the best of it.
Yeah. The whole purpose of life is to not die, so you got to do what you can, and do everything you can to be the best that you can be while you're alive.
Exactly.
And it's all based in the mind, and especially now that we have like social media and all these things that can boost our dopamine level to keep us happy, and which is very, very small amounts of dopamine, and it like screws up everybody's minds and makes everyone depressed. And like, you just stay away from that and just move forward with like the things about you and not about everyone around you. And you focus on yourself and you know, work as hard as you can. Like anything can happen pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah. 100% agree. And I think that, like, what you said before is that there's no end to this. Like, people they see like these progression videos and like transformation videos, and then like they think like, oh, it just stops at a six pack, and like 30 days later I'm gonna have a six pack. Like, bro, there's no like I've had this conversation with my friends so many times where, like, so I'm a person and my friends are like firm believers that the word success is bullshit. Like, it has no definition, and there's no perfect definition for this word, because as soon as you try to define what it is, you're inhibiting yourself from even becoming successful. Like, when you're when you're putting a label on that word, then you're preventing yourself from going so far above that threshold. And that's why I think it's important to take pride in your failures rather than your successes, because when you're successful and when you, like, you know, have these small victories and stuff, you'll feel good, and then you'll want to slack off. I've fucking done it. Like, I posted that picture, and then like I just started getting like messages upon messages on Instagram, like from friends, family, people I haven't spoken to from high school, like you guys and other people, like telling me like how it was sick, and like asked me like what they were doing and what I was doing and stuff. Like, that felt great. And like after that, like I was like, all right, like is this it? Like I felt good. I didn't want to do anything else. You know, I like the way I look.
That's it. It's over. It's over.
Yeah, but
Go back to
it's not.
McDonald's. I'll go back
It's
to
not.
Taco Bell. I'm good. That's fine. No
So
more push-ups. You know?
you actually feel like that when you
Yeah.
get like that positive,
Get those
like,
cuddly feelings. Yeah.
yeah, when you get that shit, you just like. But it's important to take a step back and just like pause and be like, all right, like I've gotten from point A to B, but now it's point B to C, point C to D, and so on and so forth, and keep going.
It's just the beginning, exactly. You know, and there's a big difference between motivation, right, which I'm sure that what that was, and then there's discipline, right? People think those are kind of the same, but they're actually different. Right. So discipline is what gets us the results. Motivation is that little spurt of, oh my God, yeah, that feel good energy. You feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah.
but then that night you're like, wow, I'm kind of hungry. I wonder what's around the house. Maybe some peanut butter would, you know, a whole jar of peanut butter would be nice right now. Like that's what motivation. What discipline is like, no, I can't eat that peanut butter because I got to stay on the goal. I got to lose this amount of weight in this amount of time because I have a competition or something coming up. I need to do this. If I don't stay strict on my routine, I'm going to fall off and I'm going to end up going into fantasy land again. And I can't go back there because that's dangerous. Right. So discipline is what gets the actual results. Discipline is what got me my 70 pounds gone. It's what got him his 60. It's what you got your results. It's all discipline. And if you fail to discipline yourself, you're not gonna achieve what you want, right? You just simply won't. You're gonna fall off the wagon and just go back to your ways. And once you hit a certain point, I feel like you can't really go back because you know, like now you know that if you mess up, right, you'll suffer the consequences for not following your routine.
Yeah, and it's really important to focus on not just the successes but your failures, mostly failures, because you want to learn as much as you can from those failures and figure out what you might have done wrong and where you can learn from them to do better, to make them not a failure anymore and make them a success, so you can continue moving, continue progressing, because life is about progression. And so, you know, if you fail at something, you can always pass it again. There's always a retry later down the line. So you always have a second chance to always get the results that you want in anything.
Yeah, it's like if you fail a driver's test and you just say, well, I can't drive. That's it. I'm done. I'm just going to ride my bike to work forever. Like if you just give up, you're never going to be able to drive, right? Yeah. If you give up on getting your boating lessons, you're never going to be able to drive a boat. Same thing with motorcycles. If you don't keep trying, if you don't try to get better, you're just going to fail every time. So failure is absolutely critical, because if you don't fail, you're not going to learn how to succeed, right? failure is the
Absolutely.
greatest teacher.
Exactly. Yeah, I 100% agree with that, and it's that it's my mantra, that like one of the mantras that I live by. So like I live by the fact that like I try to do discomforting things every day, but then I also like I don't actively try to seek out failure, but when it happens, like I just try
Yeah,
and learn from it.
you can't like beat yourself up over it too hard.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if you fall, you got to get right back up. It's
yeah.
like a lot of people do that when they have like cheat meals, right? They have a cheat meal and they binge and they go to, they have some bullshit foods that I hate, and they feel so horrible, like, oh my gosh, I cheated, I had a cheat meal on my diet, oh, I'm so bloated, I can't do this anymore, I tried, oh my gosh, oh, I'm gonna go eat, I'm gonna go to Starbucks and drink some, the, one bad offset changes a lot of people's attitude because they're not disciplined, right? They get motivated and then they fall off, they fail, and then they go back to the old ways immediately. So I know a lot of people, right, like that, like to me, because I like everybody that we're around gets motivated by us, and then 2 days later we see them at Wendy's ordering a baconator with the bun. So it's like most people, they'll get motivated and they'll do it for like a day and then they'll fail and then they'll cheat or they'll accidentally eat some cookies and they're like, oh, we can't do it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who have told us like, oh, we're gonna come for a run with you guys and we're gonna all go
And
for
they
a
dip
run
out,
together.
they flake.
And we never hear from
Yeah,
them
yeah.
again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I've had my fair share of that. Not with running, but like I love soccer. So like
Yeah.
people have like told me like, oh yeah, like we'll be at the turf at like 6 a.m. or what? Because I'm an early bird. I wake up early in the morning. So like when I was in India, I would like try to organize soccer events with like my cousins and like my friends there. Like, oh yeah, we'll be there at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Like, and then I'm there at the pitch and like no one's there. It's like
Yeah.
silent, and I'm like I'm trying to call everyone and get them like it people are like that. People are like that.
Yeah. Like I think a couple weeks ago, a friend of mine was like, yeah, I was like, yo, we're gonna go for a run at 5:30. Are you down? And they were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be there, it's gonna be awesome, we're gonna get some miles in, I'm gonna lose this weight, I'm gonna do it. And then like 5:30 came, Mike was at my house and I was like, oh, we gotta wait for my friend, he's coming. Never heard from him, so we just had to go without him. I was like, well, another one bites the dust, I guess. It's just, and then he texted me later, oh, I couldn't wake up because of my alarm. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
whatever, just
I mean, honestly, everyone has different priorities, I guess, at the end of the day, and it's just sometimes if they commit to something and they're not doing it, then that to me that just tells me that wasn't really their priority in the cases that like, because I mean sometimes like they genuinely can't, and so it's important to recognize when actually can't do something that they've committed to, given there could be some other extenuating circumstances that inhibit them from doing it. But when you have the option to do it, but you choose not to, even though you've made a commitment, then it's not a priority. It's not a priority for you. And
yeah, like
at that point, it's on them to
exactly,
sort out their priorities.
we create our own situations, and I know a lot of people that can, they really do have the time to do push-ups. You don't have to go run a marathon, like you could just do something simple like do 10 push-ups and start on day one. But if someone tells me they don't have time to do 10 push-ups, I'm just like, all right, I think there's another problem. It's
Yeah.
it's not a time at that point. It's like you just don't want to do the work. You don't want to put in the effort, and that's okay. If you don't want to make progress, stay where you are and fine. But when I see people like depressed all the time, like they depress themselves. They put these negative thoughts in their head, and they just tell themselves excuses as to why they're depressed. Oh well, today sucks. Why? Because it's raining. Like like we've gone running in the rain and I hate it. I hate running.
We ran in that hurricane.
Yeah, I was running out when it was the hurricane and I was like, I don't care. If I get blown away, at least I get blown with dignity. I don't know. So this is me. But but you said that you started eating healthier, right? What kind of foods how'd you change your diet? Talk a little bit about that.
So throughout the 100 days, I'll be completely honest, like I wasn't tracking my meals. So I was just Like I wasn't doing any MyFitnessPal or any sort of app or anything like that. I was just, I mean, I was intermittently fasting, so I would be eating between 12 p.m. to like 8 p.m. That would be like my feasting window, I guess. Um, and well, actually, it'd probably be like closer to from like 11 to like 6 because I couldn't really hold like I couldn't wait till 12 to eat, and I definitely couldn't wait until like 7 or 8 to eat again. So like I used to like fast for like 16 or 17 hours in the day, and then like only eat the rest of the hours. And putting that kind of restriction in my diet really helped me maintain uh caloric deficit, albeit it was not a healthy one because looking back, I actually like calculated and my caloric deficit, uh, like I was consuming roughly 1,000 calories a day, not like
Oh, that's
not
it.
by
Wow.
yeah, and that was super unhealthy. Like if I go back and look at it right now,
You went kind of low there.
yeah,
Right.
but like because like um well because I was working out and in the mornings and like I guess being in that much of a caloric deficit, which is not healthy for you, um, I was able to like lose a lot of fat pretty fast. But after a certain point of time, it kind of started to flatline, um, and I had to like revisit my diet and stuff like that. So when I did revisit my diet and I did start tracking my macros and my calories and all that stuff, like I started taking that more seriously. Um, I still haven't figured out like the right combination yet. But to maintain my weight, I guess where it is right now, or to like lose fat and gain muscle, I've adopted a 40-30-30 macro breakdown. So 40% of like my macros would be from protein, and then the remaining 30-30 would be from carbs and fats evenly. All while consuming roughly 17 to 1800 calories every day, while maintaining like my workout regime, which consists of running a 5K and then doing like home workouts with resistance bands. So
Yeah.
that's
I
been
just
working for me right now.
yeah, we just bought those resistance bands. They work pretty well. They do the job. You know. Uh,
Yeah.
what kind of foods do you eat now, like currently? Like, do you eat
Um,
clean?
I so I don't eat beef or pork. So the only meats I really eat are chicken,
What, chicken
turkey,
breast or?
just chicken, any sort of chicken really. With like I try to remove as much like skin and as much fat from it as possible before I consume it.
Yeah.
Um, but chicken, turkey, like lean turkey meat from Costco, um, or like the sliced like deli stuff that you get, the turkey
Yeah, those are
breast.
pretty low calorie stuff.
They are. They're
Right.
really good. Um, like what else do I eat for protein? And then honestly, like for protein shakes. Like I consume at least 3 a day
Yeah.
because it just gets the job done.
What brand protein shakes do you use? Yeah.
Um,
Like just the
so
average like GNC stuff, or is it like?
I use I what's it called from Costco? I go to Costco to get like my protein
Oh yeah, yeah.
powder, but it's it's Combat protein powder, I think, the cookie and
I think
cream
I've
one.
heard of that. Is it the isolate one? The protein
Yeah.
isolate? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the way isolate.
for anyone curious. The way the protein isolate is the best protein because it takes all the crappy stuff that comes from the animal with the protein or whatever, and it just keeps the main amino acids right in there. So if you have a choice between getting protein concentrate or isolate, make sure you get the isolate. That's the best quality. It's more expensive, but it's the best quality type of protein, and it's less inflammation for the gut. So pro tip for anyone listening. But yeah, I know like protein shakes and the lean meats, those seem to be, they do the best. What do you eat for carbs?
For
Your
carbs,
energy levels.
yeah. So for carbs, I'll usually so Indian food is really rich in in carbs and fat. So I usually just eat like some chapati or roti, which is like Indian bread. Basically, it's like an Indian tortilla, um, along with some vegetables or some curry, basically something like that, with some healthy protein on the side.
Yeah.
Or with a protein shake if I can't find any chicken or turkey or anything like that.
So you don't eat eggs, right?
I eat eggs. I eat
Okay,
eggs too.
okay.
I love eggs. And multi-grain bread. Um, that's pretty much it. I try to eat a lot of fruits too.
Do you eat like consume dairy or?
I don't drink milk. Like I drink almond milk and cashew milk. I try to like throw that into the protein shake because it's very low calorie, and if you're in a deficit, you're trying to like lower your calories as much as possible. So I try and stick away from whole milk.
The unsweetened vanilla almond milk I find is like the best source because it has that vanilla sense and very low calories. The unsweetened almond vanilla milk is the best stuff. But you know, I think the main thing of diet is main thing of results is definitely diet. I believe, you know, exercise obviously counts, but I think diet it's a more stronger component because not only does it maximize your insulin levels and your fat loss, but it also gives you the necessary energy that you need to have the best workouts, right? Because the best workouts with the best energy equals the best results. And with a good diet and healthy foods and not consuming all these fast food and on these horrible processed foods, you got to have better workouts, which equals better fat loss. So it all correlates, I think, back to diet.
I kind of think, I mean, yeah, diet definitely plays a very key role, but I think that we tend to think too much along the diet path. Like there's people that will just get the body they want to get to, like the physique they want to get to, and they'll just think that it's adequate enough to just like eat like in a caloric deficit, eat like 40 30 macros or whatever, like intermittently fast or like do keto like you guys are doing, and they think that that'll be enough, but just that, it's never going to be enough. I think that you definitely need to work out and exercise and prioritize that into your routine, because it's not just for like obviously growing your muscles and like your health, but just for your mindset.
Oh yeah,
I think to me that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think you need to work out. Yeah, because I've had days where like I didn't work out and I felt guilty for eating because I was like, do I even deserve to eat? Because I didn't do like, this is my old way of thinking. I was like, do I even deserve to eat? Because I didn't put in the work today. So I was like, why should I eat this pack of cookies if I haven't even put in the work? Like, I don't even deserve to feel good right now because I exercise should be my priority, right? As humans, we need to be moving, right? Humans are not meant to be sedentary, right? We're not meant to just sit around all day. Our bodies are literally not built to sit all day. In fact, like we're literally meant to stand more than sit. Besides sleeping, it's like the only time. But we've forgotten that because life has become so easy. And I think that's the biggest part. We're kind of conditioned to play it easy, right? Play it safe. Oh, no, you don't have to go do exercise. It's okay. Just stay here. It's okay. Watch a movie, like we're sort of like conditioned to not do as much, right? And it's very easy to not do anything. It's so easy.
It's so easy to be lazy. Yeah, it's so easy to just
too
not
easy.
do anything.
Because you don't have, unless you're like in the military or like a police academy, you're not having someone like, hey, exercise today. Don't forget. Like most people are not going to do that. Most people don't care enough, right? They're not gonna. They don't.
Yeah, because a lot especially depending on your home, how you've been raised and stuff. You're not born with discipline, and you're not born with that. And so like that's something you learn. And if you don't learn it from like your household, and you don't go to somewhere like the military or do martial arts or some type of physical combat sport or something like that, you won't find the discipline to actually push yourself to do things that other people won't do. And so like that's a big role in all of it, I feel.
Yeah, definitely agree. You need that mindset before anything, and that's one of the reasons that I've failed so many times before at weight loss, was because I lacked that mindset. And it goes back to what I was saying before about the comparisons. Like I would compare myself to like all these like bodybuilders or whatever, like doing all these sick transformations in 30 days or 60 days. And then, but like I'm Indian. So like my diet is significantly different than what their diet would be, right? Like their diet would consist of like pasta or like salads and stuff like that. Like that doesn't happen in my house, right? Like my mom doesn't make that sort of stuff. And it gets harder when you're in college because when you're rushing in between classes and like have a side job or whatever, you really don't have time to think about what you're putting into your system. You just need to like eat something fast and then move on with your day. And so I lacked mental capacity, I guess, or strength to maintain a steadfast diet. And then I also, like, when I wasn't seeing changes, I just kind of dropped the ball on working out as well. And that combined with the, like, a lot of peer pressure, because that's also, like, it's reverse peer pressure, actually, if I think about it now, because, like, what you guys are doing, it's motivating, you're trying to motivate your peers on, like, doing things like working out and getting fit and getting healthy, which is, like, great. But when you're, like, when I was in college, like, sure, my friends would always, like, like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the gym and shit like that, right? But like, come waking up at 5 a.m. or 7 a.m. or whatever, time to go to the gym, like, there's only a few people that would do it, and I would often just be the only one. I mean, my roommates and like my suite mates would then go and do it like later at a time, but like we never went in unison. So I kind of lacked that motivational support from them as well to keep trying to do it and keep going and working out and stuff. And then you would get home after an exam, and the only thing that would be on your mind would be like, all right, let's just order some takeout and like let's play like Fortnite the entire night long, or some dumb shit like that, or just like let's just binge Netflix or something like that, right? And like get Taco Bell or something like that, and literally just do that. And there's nothing wrong with it, but you do
can't
that
do it all the
too
time.
many times, and
Like,
you just fall off.
Mike, tonight's Taco Bell night again, Andrew.
Or
yes.
like it's.
I don't like
You're
Taco
like,
Bell, Andrew. I don't want to.
You're like, it's Thursday night, and like in NJIT, Thursday night would be like the party night, and so like, your friends and all, they'd be like, we're gonna go party, we're gonna go like do this and that and stuff like that, and then you kind of, I'm not much of a partier, like I'm introverted as fuck.
Yeah.
So like,
so
parties
is he.
and all that
It's
stuff,
hard to.
I
I have to
don't vibe
drag
with
Mike
them.
to the bar.
He has to drag me out to the bar. I'm just like, I don't care about
Also,
people.
I genuinely dislike the taste of alcohol. So like I just naturally, I don't like drinking. So, but when I, like, these nights or whenever we went out to like bars or like parties and stuff like that, right? Like you kind of be under that peer pressure of just drinking or just like having one with your buds and, like having like just drinking, and like, it's bad for you. I knew it was bad for me. I knew I really didn't want to do it, but I lacked the confidence or just like the mindset to firmly put my foot down and be like, all right, no, this isn't for me. And that's actually one of the things that changed over the last 8 months or so, that like, since I've like tried to change my mindset about things, I've had to say no more times than yes to a lot of things. And like, most of it has just been like that subtle peer pressure. It's not really peer pressure because your friends aren't forcing you to do anything you don't want to do because they're your friends, but like, you see when everyone else is like having fun and like they really want you to get in on it, but you really don't want to be a part of that. Like,
there's that social
sometimes you just
pressure.
sometimes you just gotta be yourself and be like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, like the main thing is, we want to fit in and make friends, and we want to like kind of sort of please people, but at the same time, we need to remember what we want, right? Because we need to put ourselves first, right? We need to make ourselves our own mental point of origin. So we need to find out, my friends are doing this. Do I want to go down this path and go down with them tonight, or do I want to maybe go back to the dorm and study for this test, or maybe I want to do my 100 push-ups tonight, so I could stay productive. So when I wake up the next morning, I feel like I did exactly what I wanted to do and not what others thought I should do. right? So it's a big difference between doing what you think is important and what others think that you should think is important.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference.
Yeah, it's always about you first. Like, yeah, you can care about other people, but like when it comes down to like, you know, your friends and you always got to make sure that you benefit from whatever it is as well, not just your friends. So you got to make sure that, you know, they want me to come out to this party. What's there that's going to benefit me? I don't really see anything right now, so I'm probably just not going to go, and I'm probably going to do something that might benefit me instead. And I feel like that is, you know, doing it all the time might not be a good thing either, but, you know, doing it more times than none, I feel like is, you know, the best thing. Because, you know, you want to go out with your buddies, you know, the brotherhood, you know,
you want to be with the homies.
Social things are important. But
you don't have to do it every night. Like, you need to make time for your own goals, right? You need to get your own stuff. Like, like I have to make sure my workout is done, and I have to meal prep before I allow myself to go do other things, right? Because I need to get what's done first and say, you know, keep the discipline going before I allow myself to go play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can't hang out with the boys because I got to make sure I edit all these videos before I go on vacation. You know, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So how long have you guys been like doing this, like with your business?
So this technically started around what was it 20, pretty much right when I started doing the ketogenic diet, and I started it and I was in it for like a couple months.
Yeah, tell them the story of how you started keto.
Yeah,
and
so
how you changed your
life.
life.
So pretty much it was like at the end of 2017, early 2018. I was just 2018. I was just like, yeah, I know, I see it. I'm seeing it myself. I'm getting fatter. I get on that scale and I'm like 203. And I'm just like, oh, no. I got to stop. I got to chill, back up. I got to do something.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know what to do.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'll do it to you.
I was 230.
Yeah.
So.
And so Andrew was already doing the ketogenic diet. And so one night I was taking him home after hanging out, and he came to me. He was like, you should do the keto diet if you're, you know, because I can tell. It's like kind of the same thing with you and Parag, where he knew, and you know, and you guys, you know, did that. So like he did the same thing with me. And so he's like, why don't you just try it for 30 days, see how you feel after, and if you want to continue. If you don't, then that's it.
30 days. That's all. Just do a trial run and see how much, if you make progress, right? See if you can make a change in yourself within these 30 days. 30 days is enough time to change any part of your life. I don't care what anyone says. Like, if you can do something for 30 days, you can do it.
Yeah. And so I did it. So I started it and I did it for 30 days. I lost like 20 some odd pounds, almost 30 pounds. And like my motivation, my drive, everything just skyrocketed. And I was like, I got to do something, you know, I got to help people. I got to do something, you know, for everybody else. And so I wanted to, I opened up actually a clothing brand for motivational shirts and motivational apparel, like for working out and stuff, to, you know, for like people going to the gym. And that was the start of this. And then Andrew and I decided to do the YouTube channel to help people, you know, learn new ways of, you know, losing weight, body fat, you know, even advice on, you know, life skills, like even like approaching women.
Yeah, we just started like starting to give out dating advice due to like our experiences, and he has a good relationship with his girlfriend. So I like to use him as a long-term relationship example. Meanwhile, I'm like out in the field, like if any of oh god, I don't want anyone to listen to this. Oh well, I don't care. Like I'm basically out in the field, like testing my confidence, right? Like this a quick story. Like we were at a bowling alley, you know, the in a town that's very near us.
It's in Hazlitt.
The Hazlitt bowling alley. So we were with another friend of ours, and I was like, hey man, and he's, you know, he's kind of not confident with women at the moment. So I was like, hey man, why don't you just like go out there and put yourself out there and like take a chance, right? There was these 3 girls that were next to us, bowling next to us. And I was like, hey man, because we were bowling. So I was like, how about this? Go up to the girls and say this. Hey, if I make a strike, you have to go have a drink with me. So I was like, say that and just, you know, take a shot. And he was like, oh, I can't. I was like, yes, you can. Just do it. He's like, oh, no, man, I can't. You know, I there's no way I would be able to do that. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to do it myself. Right. So so I was with Mike and a couple other of our friends, too. And they were like, oh, Andrew's not going to do it. Yeah, but I don't give a fuck. I'm kind of testing out my
I
confidence.
I kind of knew he was gonna do it, but let's get to this.
Yeah. So I was just like, I'm gonna set the example here, right? Because I think someone's got to set, someone's got to be the leader and just say, you know what, this can be done. So I when it was my turn to bowl, I went up to the girls. I just like they were all talking in their circle, like these three random girls, because they were done back with us. So I go up to the table. I was like, hey, I guess I just picked the cutest one out of all three of them. I was like, hey, what's your name? And she told me her name. I was like, listen, if I'm about to go make this, I'm about to go bowl. So if I make this strike, would you want to go have a drink with me? For like good luck. And they were all like, ah! Like all giggling and stuff. And they were just like, yeah, okay, sure, buddy. Like I'm a fucking dickhead. So I go to make the shot, and I ended up getting a gutter ball. Right,
Yeah,
like complete fail. And the girls are just like laughing, and then they just walk away, like fuck off. I was like, all right, fine, whatever.
yeah,
And I ended up getting like 2 gutter balls because my hands were so sweaty from being nervous. Like I had
yeah.
so much bad butterfingers that the ball just like
Slipped
slipped.
off.
So
It went immediately into the gutter.
So-
I just needed to just
so it
point
was-
that out.
yeah.
Point out that detail.
Yeah,
It went
so-
immediately into the gutter.
Immediately.
it was a gigantic failure, and everybody, of course, was laughing at me. But the fact that I went up there, right? I confidently,
Yeah.
not one girl, but 3, and at a table, I went up to just random, and I said what I said. I completely embarrassed myself. I got a gutter ball, and I failed, but it felt good, right, to take that
Yeah.
chance and to do it anyway. Because what if I didn't do it, and I would have regretted it, for like days to come. Like, oh fuck, I didn't do that. I didn't sad those girls. What if they would have all? What if there could have been a foursome? Like you're like your mind
You've
just
got some wild thoughts, dude.
like all these things that could happen,
Yeah,
but they won't
yeah.
because you never take that chance. So
Yeah.
and it's funny because later that night, another girl, like completely different, approached me, and I got her Snapchat. So it was like weird. It was
And
like,
you also got a strike.
yeah, and I
and
got
you
a
did
strike.
it again.
Yeah, so
You redeem yourself.
yeah, I did. It was a weird time, but the moral of the story is that you should just do it anyway, right? You
Yeah.
should take that chance because rejection is better than regret, right?
Yeah.
That's one of
Yeah,
the things
yeah,
I
yeah.
like to say, right? So
Yeah, so doing this, like, if we didn't start this YouTube channel, if I didn't start All Gains Apparel and stuff like that, like, then everything would have just been a regret, like, because I appreciate everything I've learned and everything I'm doing this, and it makes me so more motivated to keep pushing and do more and expand and find something that works perfectly, for everything, and try to motivate and help people and get people where they should be and not just a cog in the machine. Try to get people to be awakened.
Yeah. Dude, it was I know exactly what you mean. And that wasn't my intention when it when I started this thing, right? When I started this whole like journey and this when I started this up in January, I didn't know I did it with no intention of like thinking about motivating other people or anything like that. I just wanted to do it for myself. And then when I started posting regularly on Instagram just to hold myself accountable to all like that I was doing, right, and to what I was saying and preaching. I wasn't even preaching. I was just like I just post like push-up videos or like running videos like after a jog or something like that or do some shit, right? And then I started putting up these pictures of like me like versus me now, like me before versus me now and stuff. And like people would just randomly like comment or message me or some shit. Like there's a girl from high school that like tagged me in her post, and I haven't spoken to this girl in like years, and like she's from my neighborhood, and like I've seen her from time to time. Like I've spoken to her like briefly, throughout like middle school and high school, but like she wasn't like a friend. She was just like an acquaintance. But like she tagged me in her post about like how like I inspired her to go on her own like journey or continue on her own journey. And I was like, whoa, dude, whoa. I was not prepared to read that. And like it just put like a big ass smile on my face, like to just acknowledge that, like, holy fuck, like you're at the point now where like you've actually proven, not just to yourself but to those around you, that you can do it. You can do it. So it's really something. And if I'm being honest, like the real thing that drove me throughout all this thing was like one rejection too many. Like at that point, like I was in India and I got rejected by this girl, and I, like I was just like that, like kept fueling me so hard every single day. And this girl, this probably doesn't even she doesn't even know this, but like every time I would go on a jog, right, I would keep thinking like, why me? Why do I have the shittiest luck, like with girls or with just dating or anything like that? And like it just like, and then my thoughts would just get aligned with the song that I would be listening to, and then the beat would drop and like the chorus would go or whatever, and like I just fuel myself to like push through the workout, and like
Yeah.
I just end the workout with like such a happy and like a positive thought. It'd be like, after all this, like I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna show her. But then like some people say it's like the wrong thing to think that way. Like, you shouldn't be doing it for anyone else. You shouldn't be like, but that's all fucked up, man. I think if you're regardless of if you're doing it for yourself or for someone else or to motivate people or whatever, like as long as you feel strong about it, that's all there is.
Yeah.
You just need to feel fucking strong about it.
Yeah, like when your mindset improves and you lose weight and you start to gain some muscle and a good physique, not only
Yeah.
does your physical aspect change, but your mental aspect changes as well.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that holds a lot of guys back from actually like approaching that girl or like trying again, it's that fear, right? Of
Oh,
it's that
yeah.
it's that being held back, like, oh, I was like, oh, I can't say hi to that girl at ShopRite because she'll just say I'm ugly and she'll punch me in the face. She'll just give me the slap, and it's just not
Dude,
worth it, man. I just don't want to. But like,
I YOLO'd with this girl. Like, I started. So like, I've tried online dating. I've actually started to back up again because like, why the fuck not? But like, I like I hate online dating just because like people on like Tinder or like whatever all these apps are, right? 90% of them, not 90, like 70 or 80% of them, like they just want to hook up. They just want to fuck. They just want to like just like short term something, right? Friendship or whatever, right?
yeah,
And like
yeah,
when you match with a girl, right, and you like send her a message, right? Like this fucking person swiped right on your profile. But maybe they did this like and like they're just trying to see how many matches. But like
yeah,
when you're in a conversation with this girl and you just get ghosted all of a sudden, like
yeah.
what the
I
fuck,
I think the way I see it is
like
because yeah, there's so much attention.
yeah, and like I just so like that biggest thing I hate is like I'm like I said, I'm like I don't know how to talk to girls, so like I would spend so much time like googling shit, like oh like how like what the fucking like ask her like how to fuck to like open a message. Like people would say like, compliment their smile, compliment their hair, whatever, like start off with a funny pickup line. Like I can't think funny, like I'm not a witty person, like I just fucking blurt things out. And so like with this girl who ended up rejecting me, but like it's okay. But
Did you say like a
I
pickup line or something, or it was?
no, I tried like a more like a text approach,
Oh
and then
yeah,
it didn't work. And then like my cousins made fun of me for that. So like I was in like a taxi one day, and like my two cousins were like right next to me. They're making fun of me for it, and one of them was like, "You should send her a video," and I was like, "No, I don't want to do that." And then she just started making fun of me for it, and then like I don't know. I like I just had the balls to just send the video because like in a video I can just be myself. I don't have to overthink it. I can just fucking talk like I'm talking to you guys and not have a care
yeah,
in the world, and just it just shows my personality more. So I sent her the video. She thought it was funny and stuff, and I kept sending her videos. And then I think it got a little too much. So I think I just it became evident that she wasn't interested, so I just stopped. But that transition, if I look back at it now, if I like look at like the videos that I was sending to her, they just make me smile because I made the transition from a person who like who just was super shy and super awkward. And rather than try to fight it, I just embraced my awkwardness and my stupidity, and I just took it to another level. Something that I didn't think I would ever be able to do. So
Yeah, I've always been like, especially in high school, I would never talk to a girl ever. I would be like, I'd be that guy that would just like, like I'd be just
bro,
like,
you and me the same.
yeah,
Me too.
like, and I think I used to come off as a creep back in the day because I would never like, I'll look at a girl, I'll be like in my mind, I'm like, how am I gonna say hi? Can I do this? And like I'll be staring at her, and she'll probably be like,
Wait.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
lot of guys do that. They kind of
Yeah.
just they stare
Yeah.
at a girl and they're just like, I gotta talk to her, but I don't know how. I don't know how. And they get caught up in their mind, and the girl catches them staring, and she's like, whoa there, buddy. Like they get the wrong idea.
I never stared, but
Yeah,
I know what
see
you
it all the
mean.
time
I
in
know
my
what you
job.
mean.
But like I
know what you
recently
mean.
started just like I'll cold approach now. And he's seen me do it. Like it's pretty embarrassing, but it's really cool because I think you learn more, right? When you get that interaction, like,
Yeah.
I'll just go say hi or say something stupid. Like I remember
Yeah.
when we went to New York,
Oh, yeah.
we went in a subway and I didn't know this goes on the phone. So I like me and my friend, we made a pact to approach one girl in the city. So we went to the subway and I didn't know the girls on the phone. So I walked over and was like, hey, how's it going? Or something like that. And she was like just like she's on the phone and it said daddy on the phone. I was like, oh, fuck out of here. Like, like she literally was just like, I could have easily just like started crying, right? But I was just like, all right, it's cool. I played it, I played it off. So like, that's just one example of many,
Yeah.
but it's better to go do it anyway, right? Because first of all, you get the experience of having done it, right? Same thing with losing weight or exercising. Like you need to stay at it and stay consistent. I think my personal approach to it is you need to approach like a lot of women. You just need to keep doing it until you get better at it, right? Because the more you do it, the more you get in sync with how it's done. Like you get better, as with everything. Practice makes perfect, right? So the more you do, it's consistency. It's really a consistency game. And
Yeah, and you also got to like not beat yourself up like when you get like rejected and stuff.
Yeah,
like, there's millions of women out there that and if one person doesn't give you the
I
attention,
know, but
next
that's easier said than done. For some
sometimes
people.
my
like
hands always
myself.
get so sweaty. I still get that anxiety. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna go do it. And like my hands get sweaty, and I'm just like I'll shake. Like it's bad, but like when it's done, I'm just like, okay, it's over. Like I feel a lot better compared, like if I don't do anything. Like if I see a girl and we like have eye contact and I don't say something, I feel bad. Then I'm just like, why didn't I say hi? I'm such a little bitch. Like I don't like feeling like a little bit. I don't like it. Rejection is better than regret.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with not eating healthy and not exercising. If you don't do it, you're gonna feel horrible the next day because I should have ran yesterday, but I didn't because fuck, I'm a little bitch. Like
that.
Yeah.
I know what that means. I know what that feels like.
So it really is a consistency. It's a consistency game, and you have to stay. It's a discipline thing. Well, like when it comes to women, I think if let's say you approach one girl a week, right? Like on a Friday, you go to a mall or something, whatever, and you like once a week, just say hi to one girl a week. In 1 year, that'd be 52 approaches. That's more than the average guy's ever done in his entire life. So you're already up upon the game, right? Because you've already done more than the average person will ever do in their entire life. That's more experience than the average guy already has, right? So it's really a consistency game. If it's not a numbers game, it is a consistency game. Same thing with running. If you at least run one, like not even a 5K, if you do 1 mile a day, that's it. 1 mile a day, 7 days, right? So that's 7 miles a week. So what's 52 times 7, right? I'm not good at math. Basically,
364.
Yeah.
Something.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
300. If you want to do it for an entire year, it's 365 days.
I'm not a math major, okay? But if you do 1 mile a day for 1 year, that's 300.
I don't know why the fuck I actually.
Yeah.
I actually did the multiplication in my head. I fucked up. Wait, how's it 364 then?
Wait.
7 miles a week, 52 weeks.
Well, yeah, that's right. Like if
you have there's one more day.
Just 1 mile,
there's one
right?
more day.
So 1 year, that's 365 miles a year. That's again, it's still more than the average person.
More than this. Yeah.
So it's really, if you could just do it like if you can do something at least small, you'll feel at least a little bit better. Or if you can't do 100 push-ups, do 10. Or if you can't do pull-ups, do 1 pull-up a day. Just 1. That's all you have to do. No matter what it takes, just do 1. If you can do 1 a day, once again, same thing. Once a day. That's 365
Yeah,
pull-ups a year.
it's
And
progressively overloading it.
yeah, so
That's what they say.
yeah, it's consistency. Honestly, if you keep doing something, you
Yeah.
get better at it over time.
Yeah.
And that's how you become stronger. That's how you become more disciplined, by doing the same thing over and over until you get better and better at it. That's how people get better with sales. That's how people get better with business. That's how people get better with women and
With
all that
women,
kind of
weight
stuff.
loss.
It's all weight loss. It's all consistency. But if you stop and you just give up and say, well, she said no, I'm done. I'm gonna be single forever. Or you binge eat. You binge eat like some food, some
Yeah,
peanut
and
butter
you're
or
just like,
something,
oh, I
and
can't do
I
it
can't do
anymore.
it. That's what separates you from the rest, right? Is the person who says, I had a bad day, I had a bad experience, but tomorrow's going to be better because I'm going to make it better. It's not anyone's fault.
Yeah.
It's my total 100% accountability.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why we post. That's why we try to post every day on our Facebook group, because it keeps us accountable for the things we do.
Yeah.
And keeps and especially if, God forbid, we miss a day, and we'll have like a whole bunch of people messaging us, where is your video?
Yeah,
why
bitch. Yeah.
are you running, like
Yeah.
are you doing something?
Yeah, and on my
Yeah.
Instagram, I post a story every day of me like doing something like running, weightlifting. Every day I post on my Instagram story because then I could look at my Instagram story. Dude, that's how I know if I worked out, because I look at my Instagram story from like the morning. I was like, oh yeah, I did do that this morning. Okay, good. Okay, I did it, and it makes me feel good because I accomplished something. Right? Like when you wake up and the first thing you do is you
Yeah.
make your bed. You've accomplished one
Yeah.
task after waking up. You make your bed. It's spotless, right? You clean your room. That's one task done. You already feel good about yourself, right? You already feel like you've accomplished something on your list, on your daily list of activities. So if you complete one thing, that's a good excuse to do another and another and another and keep going with your list of activities throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then when the day's over, you've completed all your tasks for the day and you feel accomplished. You've completed your mission for the day. And that gives you a certain good feeling, right? And that makes you consistent on your goals, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Progressively overloading is the best way of doing things. When people try to do things all at one go, so like they'll hit the gym hard and then they'll like try and like go into like a ridiculous caloric deficit or something like that all in one go. Like it's not, you're just gonna burn out. You're gonna burn out fast, and that's exactly what I was doing for like the previous 2 years. Is I was burning out and burning out fast. So this time around, I took a different approach. When I started jogging like doing a lap around my neighborhood, like a mini lap, and then uh, that was like 0.55 miles exactly. And I used to track how long it took me to do 0.55 miles, and it would be like, I think I started off first like 4:55 seconds, 4 minutes 55 seconds. The next day it went down like 4:45, 4:35, for like 19, 4:05 and stuff like that. And then like progressively I started doing I went from half mile to like like 0.75 miles, and then 1 mile, and like before, not nonstop, by the way. Like I would still have to stop at half mile because like I would be so out of breath, and like I'd do a lap, I'd stop at my house, take like a minute or two, pause, and then I'd go back around doing like another lap in like a different direction. And overall, like my net travel for that day, or my net distance, would be like 1.2 miles. Then I increase it to like 1.5 miles. Then the next day I would increase it to like 1.6 miles. And then while doing that, I would also try and like increase the overall distance before I took my first break or my second break. And then one day I just like, there's this old guy that like runs in my neighborhood too, and like he was just, him and I were just talking, and like he told me how he was like a regular. He's done like 5Ks, 10Ks, 15Ks, half marathons, full marathons, and I was like, damn. And so like I didn't know what a 5, 10, 15K was. I had a good idea. I thought it was kilometers, and it is, but I didn't know like what like the distance was. And that day I just done like my most exhaustive run. And so when I went back home, I looked it up, and I just ran like 3.5 or 3.7 Ks. And oh no, sorry, 5 I ran like 3.8 miles, which I don't know how many kilometers that is, but 3.1 miles is a 5K. So I did my first 5K that day, and I was like, fuck, damn, I just did a 5K.
It feels
And
good, right?
it felt
Yeah.
amazing.
So yeah, same thing
And
with
the next day I did instead of 3.8, I did 4.0. The next day I did 4.5 and 5 miles. Then I pushed myself to 6.2 miles because I knew that was a 10K. And like progressively over, and then I did 7 miles, and like I kept going, and then my knees started to give in, so I had to change the pace at which I was like progressively overloading it. But baby steps. That's the most important thing, I think.
You start slow and you just go a little bit more every time, right? And then as time goes, same thing. It's a consistency game, right? You start off small, but you don't stop, right? You don't say, "Oh, I did 1 mile. That's all I could do. That's it." No, you want to strive for a little bit more every time. You want to go up the ladder, right? Because the ladder, you don't go down the ladder. You go up the ladder. And then if you fall off, it's all right because you get right back on the ladder. You keep climbing again. And it doesn't end.
Yeah, like we keep our route consistent. Our route is pretty much a 5K. We do pretty much that amount, but like we'll change up how we do it, either because we'll walk the beginning, and then we'll jog for a good like 2 miles straight, and then we do another walk, and then we jog the rest back, or we'll jog the whole entire thing, or we will walk it, depending on, like, let's say if we had like a full body workout, and like someone's muscle, like someone's like leg muscle, let's say, was way too sore to do a run, so we take it easy that day and then come back again the next day. Some days we'll do the whole entire thing of a run. Sometimes we'll even walk a mile, sprint, because we do it on the Cliffwood Beach seawall, so like that whole entire thing is just a straight line, so we will sprint sometimes on that seawall and stuff. And so like doing different things also helps your body, like, because you're not doing the same thing over and over again. You're always changing your body and your mind is also like not staying comfortable. It's always
you're shocking the muscle, right? You're changing your body's way of what it thinks you're going to do, because your muscles will adapt to your routine and it'll be like, oh, I know what you're going to do today, but then you do something different and it changes up the chemistry in your body, because you have to trick your body in order to get different results, right? So that same thing with like calories. So if you do 1,800 calories a day of the same exact foods, eventually your body's gonna be like, okay, I already know what to do. But so that's why you have sometimes you have to change things around, whether it be timing, fasting, you do a different meal timing of the day, or you switch up the foods, right? Because if your body gets used to the same thing, it'll just be like, okay, I already know what you're doing, bro. I got you. Like your body already knows. So when you switch it up, it kind of kickstarts that, like, no, we're not done yet, motherfucker. We got more shit to do. We got more progress to go. That's why it's always, there's cycles of different things that you have to accomplish, right? So we sprint, we run, we jog, we walk, we do all these different things to sort of trick the body, right? Well, but we always get the cardio done. The miles are done no matter what.
Yeah.
The way we do them varies, but they get done. And that's the most important thing, is that your task for the day is being complete on your list.
Right. It's like the best thing to do is to always strive to be your best self. You're doing a great job, I think. So I definitely commend you for everything that you're doing right now. And and it really helps us like know that we're doing something right, because we know that you're pretty much doing the same thing and it's working for you. So we know that we can just keep pushing and keep moving, and hopefully other people that are just as like-minded as the three of us will do the same thing, and be their best self.
Because the narrative is like our moms have told us for our entire life, just be yourself, honey, it's okay, just be yourself. I don't agree with that. What I think it is,
I fucking have disbelieve that so hard. That's fucking bullshit.
Me too.
Sorry to you, Mom.
The new thing I'm trying to tell people is be your best self all the time. You need to maximize the potential you have during the day, because be yourself. What is being yourself? Is being yourself just sitting down like all day, like just watching TV? Or is being your best self going out and thinking, what can I do today to maximize my results, to maximize my progress, right? To maximize my mind. What can I learn today to make myself better for tomorrow, right? So I go with the be your best self mantra instead. that's a lot more powerful. Because if you tell someone to be themselves, that says you can be lazy and that's okay. That's not okay. I don't care what anyone. People need to stop. Being lazy did not build the Great Walls of China. Being lazy did not build the pyramids of Egypt, right? You know, lazy men didn't build our houses. Lazy
men didn't build this country, so on and so forth.
So what gives us the right to be lazy? Nothing. We're not entitled to anything. We're not entitled to anything as humans. We have to build, right? Men must become, right?
Yes.
Especially us. We have to become. We're not just like Rey Skywalker from Star Wars, okay? We are Luke Skywalker. We have to become. Right.
Exactly.
So, that's the way I kind of see it. You know, we don't just have force powers, right? We have to grow. We have to go through a journey, right? We become better because we're not entitled to anything. Maybe if you get inherited money, I guess, but that's not cool. But like, we have to build our empires, right? If you build it, they will come. Sort of that kind of thing. No one owes you anything. No one owes anyone weight loss. Okay, you owe you. Is how I see it. You owe you your progress, because if you don't do it, if you don't take action and go for runs and start exercising and change your mindset, if you don't change the way you feel about yourself, no one's going to do it for you. No one cares about your struggles, right? Only we do, right? So that's the big thing that people need to take away, and that's what motivates us every day, right?
It keeps us disciplined as well. But yeah, thank you, Sid, for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you here. I definitely keep up.
Thank you guys for having me.
No problem, man.
Yeah, it was, you know, like
you guys too.
Yeah, hopefully when everything gets back to normal, maybe we can actually meet up and have another one of these, because definitely we'd love to talk with you a lot more.
Yeah, sounds good. Hit me up. Hopefully the pandemic fucking ends soon, and I can go back out my house.
It'll end in November. Don't worry.
I'll be over I hope November. So. I hope so. But yeah, it was great talking with you guys. It was great seeing you guys again. You look like you guys are doing good, and keep up the good work. I think you guys are doing something pretty cool.
Yeah, you too, man. You keep running, and we'll keep running too, spiritually.
Yeah, we will be running next to you through the internet.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.